This is a level 50 character, and I'm going to try to go over the mechanics of it. The main skill is Electric Wall, and then I use Deadly Aspirations, Voices of the Swarm, Toxic Spray, Explosive Sickness, Dark Affliction to maintain really high damage. I'll go over to the testing dummy. So here I'm gonna show you the damage you can do with a fully geared Oracle. Now this isn't min-maxed or best in slot yet, but a lot of the pieces are pretty close to really much what I was looking for. See here, I got it roughly at the top end about 4 million. It wasn't popping my vision either for some reason. I don't know why my vision wasn't popping, but if my vision was going off, it would be roughly probably 6 to 7 million DPS. But yeah, so the main skill is obviously Electric Wall. Everything else is superfluous. You really don't have to worry about any of the other skills on my bar. They were just something that was funning around with. Now I only use them because of their supports for my Electric Wall. I'll go over some more of the supports. The most important stuff is area of effect. That's huge. Duration is important. Electric damage is important. Toxic damage is important. Now, you don't need this. For as long as skill is being used, grants evasion and damage resistance. This build is super, super not tanky at all, so you will get one shot either way, with or without this on, so you don't really need that. The energy reduction is pretty nice, but not mandatory. The chance of restoring energy, now this is pretty mandatory. You want to get this at 100%. 60 also works, but having 100 is good too. It basically makes it so that you will never run out of energy when you're attacking stuff. The movement speed is nice, but not needed. Repel nearby enemies. I actually enjoy this a lot. It's not needed, but it does help. It does help bring enemies into your Electric Wall field, because there's a lot of moving enemies that will not stop. Next is the damage stack. This, more or less, I don't know if it's needed. I mean, it's nice, but it's not that needed. I really like this, the Ultimate Enhancement 2, which is the one that instead of adds a cooldown, it adds 30 increased cost per use. That's really nice. I also get the generate 2 vision points. I don't think this is needed. That's more just extra fluff. As you can see, I still have areas where I could put stuff in, but it's not connected. They can't be connected to my Electric Wall, so I don't really care that much about them. I mean, probably I could probably make this a 4 and then this a 3, and then I could make this a 3 and then this a... Actually, no, you can't really do anything. So I could make this a 5 and then that a 3, and then that's pretty... I don't think you can really do much with this one. But everything else is... it's whatever. But the big ones are reduced or energy gain. Energy gain's a big one. Toxic damage is good. Um, bonus chance and bonus chance for explosive sickness. You want this to be 100%. When you get this to 100%, that's really strong. And energy restore is pretty good too. You want, because that will be restoring a lot of energy too. Just to go over again the skills: Voice of the Swarm, Explosive Sickness, Dark Affliction, Toxic Spray, Deadly Aspirations, and Electric Wall. Everything else is superfluous. Um, Dark Affliction is pretty good. You could swap this out with Anti Venom if you're running health. I'm currently running the full barrier build because I have the talent Shield of the Oracle, which converts all HP into a barrier. I'll be honest, it's pretty janky. It's not a a very strong defensive layer. Like you'll either get saved or you'll just die outright. When you're playing Apocalypse difficulty, like any mob that touches you will basically one shot you. So this 18k barrier looks like a lot, but it's not that good. And then the only thing I do use for that is I use the mythical potion that gives me 9% barrier upon use, but I'll be honest, it doesn't work half the time. I think the potion is bugged, and it doesn't. I would say maybe 1 out of every 5 times the barrier works. The barrier, the 9.7 restore 9.7 barrier upon use works. It's just not that good. My goal is to get this to rank 3. This helps extremely well against bosses. The Shield of the Oracle, you don't have to get this. I mean, if you do get this, you have to build barrier on every single piece of gear, which is like barrier. You need barrier and HP, sorry, because it converts HP into barrier. So it doubles your HP. And to be honest, it doesn't look like percentage HP increases the value at all. So you need flat HP if you're going to go full barrier, if you're going to go the Shield of the Oracle build, because percent HP just does not seem to work for whatever reason. Yeah, for weapon, you're going to want electric, damage over time, crit chance, crit damage. And for the final one, instead of maximum energy, you would ideally want toxic damage. And then you see this one. This one's a little bit better. It has crit chance, electric damage, damage over time, toxic damage, and attack bonus. I actually can't tell if attack bonus does anything. I'm not sure it does anything, but it might. And the talents on these are important too. I want to swap out one of these controls. I'm probably going to swap out on the right hand because I don't like this maximum energy. It's just a wasted stat. I want to swap out that control for an arcane instability so that I can get the bigger area of effect. 40% area of effect is huge for how little investment you need. But the big ones are control for boss killing. This will pretty much take out every single final. We'll take out every single final boss at the end of a dungeon within 2 to 3 seconds. And I'll show you a little of that going forward. But yeah, there's not really any other. I really look at a lot of these and I don't really see anything that would help me that much. Yeah, there's not a lot of good stuff here, unfortunately. A lot of these are pretty bad options. Maybe this is good. I haven't tried out antagonistic energy yet. That might be good, but honestly, block, reflex, and thorn damage is just a nothing defensive layer. It just does nothing in this game. So, it, but the damage might the supplemental damage might be decent. Um, okay, here's the attributes I go for. 100 in courage just to get these. You can look at the. I don't know why I did nearby. I should have been doing core there. Oh, I know why. Because when I change, okay, so the reason I don't do core is because I use ultimate enhancement too, and it changes it from core to. It doesn't say that it changes it to core. It doesn't change. So the keywords still say core, but because I use ultimate enhancement too, it becomes an ultimate skill, and it does not seem to work. It does not seem to get affected by core abilities when it's an ultimate skill. Um, let's go back to okay. So about 100 in courage, and 100 in intellect. The reasoning is simple. It's for the attack modifier. You get double the attack modifier. I do this. I get the agility over resilience for the maximum energy. I'm at 225. That's you don't even need 225. You will literally just have plenty. Roughly 4 million DPS. It does more if the thing is pop. I I took it off for I guess to fit in more toxic damage. But it's good. You want to put foresight on. It's just so much. It makes the run so much smoother. Let's go do a boss. I mean, honestly, you're gonna one-shot pretty much every boss in the game. Now, this is a paper cannon. You will die a lot, and I'm gonna do the final boss to show you. Like I'm gonna do a full run of Apocalypse with as many of the cards that I can handle on at once. So the neutral biome is home to the last boss in the game. We're going to do him with as many cards. We're going to put as many difficulty stuff that I can handle. So the +9 to level of elites, that's a good one. The +6 level to all enemies, that's another good one. Movement speed, that's just super easy. Physical damage, we don't do physical damage, but it adds 10 loot quality. Oh, we do get critical. We do get 20 crit chance and 50 crit damage. That does help out a lot, actually. And we get the 10% experience. I don't know if this applies. Well, we get 10% experience, and it applies 30 damage to us. And then we take, at least I take the electric version. You could take the toxic version if you're doing HP, but if you're using barrier, do not take the toxic version because you won't be able to regen your barrier ever, because you'll constantly be attacked by a poison dot that literally does no damage because 1% of 1 HP is the game doesn't even calculate it. It doesn't even round up to 1, so it does 0 damage to you, but since it's always a constant effect, you can never regen your energy shield, so you have to take the electric one, which is fine because you do more damage. You do 20% more damage. Now you could, if you want to, I mean, honestly, you could take the fire one too, or the ice one. Both of these are fine too. You won't get the damage bonus, but you won't, because electricity, you can get stunned if you're not playing aggressively, or you get in melee of a mob. But these two are super easy. They don't really have any backside. But I want to do more damage, so we're going to do this. And then you want to do Apocalypse. We start Hunt. Called a random death. This will be a common occurrence, but you get 6 attempts per area you teleport to, so you'll have plenty of chances. Trust me, you won't be dying. Just caught another random death. 0 seconds, 6k damage, 1 hit, 1 source. The game doesn't telegraph damage too well, so you'll just catch random deaths. So there I did a full 6 fail. It usually does not happen. Usually those giant skeletons don't one-shot me the moment they see me. But the good thing about this is it saves your place, so you can try that. Literally, you don't have to go in and do the other ones again, so I can just go back and try that again. So that was the final boss on pretty much the toughest difficulty possible. And I did die a lot because this is a glass cannon. But this was a... I mean, I've tried this class and Knight is 1/100th of the damage of this class. Like, it's like they're not even in the same game or whatever. So yeah, that's... I'll go over some other stuff too, like how to gear your character out, what to look for. I'll mouse over each piece of my gear. But basically, you want barrier. If you're going Shield of the Oracle, you get barrier and max HP. If you're not doing that, you don't have to worry about barrier. You would probably swap out barrier for percent HP, so you want max HP, percent HP. But like the helmet doesn't really have any good bonus other than EXP. That's the only unique stat that it has. Bonus experience is pretty decent on it while leveling, but honestly, I'm 50. My Wyrmling is 50. The tributes that I want are already 50, so it's not that important for me. For chest piece, you want barrier and max HP. Those other stats are kind of poo. Like the block damage, maximum energy is pretty decent, but reflex and block damage are completely worthless stats. I don't know what I would change out for those two. Maybe a resistance to elites. Elite resistance, probably. If I could get elite resistance, that would be good. For gloves, you want attack speed. Attack speed seems to work with this build. What was very funny, on my Knight, attack speed didn't seem to increase its damage at all, which was hilarious to me. Block damage, once again, useless. Reflex, useless. Barrier and max HP are the important stats for me, and because I use Shield of the Oracle. If you're not going to use... actually, I'll talk about Shield of the Oracle in a second. For boots, you need bonus movement speed. You'll want the max HP, you want the barrier. That one, honestly, the boots, I would say, are as close to perfect as I would like. It gives elite resistance, it gives barrier, it gives energy regen, it gives max HP. It gives everything that I'm looking for on a boot. I think these are perfect boots. When I get some more gold and a good Draconic, I'm gonna imprint I'm gonna imprint a Draconic on these. For pendant, you want... I kind of wanted arcane instability, but I found this. Oh wait, no, yeah, I did. Wait. What did I want? No, it wasn't arcane instability. It was... I wanted mental superiority. That's the one I wanted for there, so I could get the damage 80%. The slow is nice, but the damage bonus is really nice. It's a really good... This is an important one. Control and mental superiority are both extremely important. Arcane instability is important, but if you honestly, just even getting one rank of this is really nice. Shield of the Oracle, obviously, it's only if you're building barrier. Only go for the... And if you do this, you need to get the 6 points. You have to get the 6 points. What you could replace for this, maybe antagonistic energy, or maybe... These do not, I'll be honest. Maybe energy wouldn't be bad. Honestly, if you only need these three. These are the three that make this build. Control, arcane instability, and mental superiority. While a barrier is active, damage is increased. An outgoing control effects inflict mental damage over time. That's super important. I mean, you can just get one... You can get a barrier going off of like 1,000. You don't need to build your entire build around barrier. It's just that it makes it so that this is always on, basically. You don't have to worry about waiting to recharge your barrier. Let's go over Wyrmling. Oh wait, I didn't go for... sorry. Weapon. This is pretty good weapon. The only thing I would change out would be maximum energy for toxic damage. That's the only thing I would swap out in this instance. Oh, and also control. I'd swap, because I have double control here. I'd swap out control for arcane instability since I'm already max on control. Let me just double check. Yeah, see. It's so good. That's good. This, honestly, this one, even at rank 1, this is just a really good one. The weapon, so the only thing I would change out here is the attack bonus. The only mod I would change out of here is the attack bonus. And the only thing I'd swap it for is crit damage. That's it. That's it. Crit damage is the, because I don't think attack bonus works. I don't know. Let's see. Pendant, arcane instability. Ring. This was very expensive. You basically only get one chance at this. I obviously didn't get a good one. So you can choose which stats. I chose courage, damage over time, and barrier, and then it gave me block damage as the freebie. Oh, and I also chose mental superiority. And then the flask. These flasks just suck. As a barrier user, the only two things that you're gonna use on this is the explosion, adaptive damage, and restore barrier use. The purify negative status effects, to my knowledge, doesn't even work. I've had a dot on me, and it just won't be counted as a negative status. It will just be counted as a damage source and not some negative status. So I thought it would remove dots. It does not. At least to my knowledge, it doesn't. So the potion, and what's even funnier is that the restore 9.7% of the barrier upon use doesn't happen every time. There must be like an internal invisible cooldown that's just not showing up. I don't know. I don't know what's the deal with that. It's wonky. It doesn't work most of the time. Ancestral grid. I do want to put back foresight onto my build. I don't know why I took it off. I think it was down here, and then I wanted to put this on, which is a really bad. It's a really bad shield. It does work for like it lasts for 1 second. It gives you damage resistance 99% for 1 second. So I mean, when I have it on, I don't die, but the moment I turn it off, I just die. So you'd think it would be helpful. It's not really that helpful. This, you definitely, just to go back on the explosive sickness, you want bonus chance. You want the reduced cost. Yeah, that's about it. Oh yeah, I'll do the tributes. I'll do the tributes and the city grid. The important ones. This one's a good one. This one's not. That doesn't matter. You just want level 1 for this. Training camp. I mean, yeah, sure. These aren't bad. This is important. This is super important. Grand Benedictor, huge. Make sure to get this as soon as you have, because this is important. But honestly, you don't need to get it at level 18, just because there's no way you're gonna have enough stuff that you've donated to this guy. Because the way that this system works is you have to donate your gear, in your fragments to him, and then once you've donated enough, he'll let you access those permanently. And I'll explain to you in a second what that means. Ancestral grid, this is huge. This is, you need this 100%. You don't even need the Oracle character receives 3% to damage dealt. That's how, I mean, you do so much damage that you won't need it. Honestly, the ring slot, you probably only need this to get to the mythical. You don't need to boost the divine. I've never seen a divine ring drop. I only made a couple of these, so I've not noticed any divine. I've not seen a single divine on any of the rings I've made. So I don't know how much I think 100% just means it goes from 0.1% chance to 0.2% chance. So it's not a worthwhile point for your town. I should have got these attributes. I mean, they're really good. +5 attributes is pretty good, but honestly, it's just not that. It's not that important for this character. This guy is super important. Get this guy as soon as possible. Unlocks an ally who will cover loot, gold, and ingredients on your behalf. It makes the game so much smoother. This one, I probably should have put more points into. Gold is a extreme limiting factor when you're trying to imprint draconic items onto it. Boost damage reduction. I don't think this does anything. Boost movement speed. Sure. I don't think this does anything that much, though. This one's important. Sale and buyback service. Gold earned from sales to the Dark Merchant. Huge. Huge. Get that as soon as possible. City gates, whatever. Mythical. Honestly, you'd only need to get this to the mythical point. So the level 15 version, you only need 4 points in it. The last one is... I've never seen a mythical divine... This one's pretty... so I'm playing with my buddy, and he was a tracker. And we first started out as tracker and knight, and he was like, "Oh, I need the 3% damage on my tracker." Like, tracker does 0 damage, so getting 3% might actually turn his 0 DPS into like 1 DPS. But the 20 attribute points is pretty important. Definitely get that. Unlocking the arsenal is important, but the additional tab to fragment, honestly, and I'll go over my loot filter in a second, but I just don't need it. You don't need the additional tabs. New effects when creating potions, new advanced effects. This is pretty important. That's the only way to get the restore barrier use, is getting that second option. So if you're going the Shield of the Oracle build, you need that. You need that second point in there. This is pretty good, just unlocking the memorial list, just so that you can imprint stuff. Ornaments are good. This is pretty good. These three are, I would say you'd want to max out all three. All three of these. So you need 6 points for that. This guy is important. Get this guy as soon as possible. Yeah, like, you want to make the cost as cheap as possible, because you're going to be doing this a lot. You're going to be trying to re-roll. You're going to want this guy. Basically, all these need to be maxed out. Artificer, Memorialist, Ornamentalist, and Enchanter. This one, I just did this just for the loot quality. I don't even understand what adding champions to the bestiary does. I think if you kill enough champions now, it means that you get a damage bonus when you're fighting against them. But honestly, you do so much damage already. The loot quality is important. I think that's the key takeaway, is the loot quality is important. So if you want to get more loot, get this. New advanced stats on creating rings. That's important. You need to get both points in that. Ancestral grid's important. Jeweler. Okay, we've been over. I think I went over all of these. I'll go over in more detail about the Grand Benedict. So this guy, every time you give him, every time you you turn on your loot filter, or just I don't know. Every time you donate to this guy, basically. That's the way to put it. So when I donate 16 more healing fragments, I'll have a mythical available. Right now I have a legendary available to me. That's what this indicates. So I can socket healing into a gear right now. Like, let's see, greater area of effect. Where's healing? Healing. Oh wait, no, healing is not a fragment, it is a talent. So I can go down here and I can do healing. It says 184. So that will give me, so this right now, a legendary healing will give me +2 to talent. So it will just act like a piece of gear. You want to upgrade this guy immediately for this. So like, you see how I'm leveling up Arcane Instability. I'm trying to level it up even more because I want to get 53 more. It's tough. You basically have to target farm bosses. The easiest way to do that is to do a champion hunt and then do a fire biome and then do Master of Ichor. I'll run it just to show you how you do that. But it's pretty simple. But yeah, I use Electric Wall. I double the area. I get a mythical area of effect and a mythical electrical damage. And what that does, that adds 5 of those points to my point pool for both of those skills. Now I could double it up and do double greater area of effect and get 10, but honestly, it's just you can choose whatever. This is flexible. This gives flexibility on your thing, so that like let's say I find a greater area of effect just out in my ancestral grid pool, like here. Like, let's say I'm able to replace these two because these enable this to be an ultimate skill. So I could change out, like, let's say I get a mythical area of effect in a mythical ultimate enhancement 2 here, instead of having to use these two to unlock mythical or ultimate enhancement 2, I could then swap this out for either toxic or electric. And so this at mythical gives 3 to gear. That's why I have 7 points total, even though I don't need 7 points. But I do need, I would like, I mean, I don't even need, I honestly don't, you won't even need 3 points. You don't need 3 points for either of these once your build's more or less lined up. Let's go, I'll tell you what tributes I use. This guy's the most important. Clovis, Bryce, Aesir. Everything else is tertiary. In fact, the only reason I have these other two is because this gives more crit chance per. That's the only reason. That's the only reason I have more, because this does nothing. 3%. When you're fighting at Apocalypse difficulty with all the cards on, this is not going to do anything. Avoidance is the only strategy. And then I was like, oh, I'll level this up. You know, get the level 20, the Enchanted Shield. That will protect me from the back from project. It does nothing. Nothing. Quite literally useless. But it does give me boost courage. Plus 10 to courage isn't bad. Wyrmling effect duration isn't bad. If I could squeeze it in, I would add, where is it? either this one, which is Francois Lehardy, just for 2 more chances. Honestly, getting 2 more chances on the rerolls is pretty big. It would turn what I currently have at 5 to 7. Okay, I'm gonna go do a champion hunt, and this is how I target farm for a specific gear. Right now, I'm searching for a right-handed weapon with arcane instability. Before I do that, let me just go equip my new right hand. Okay, I got toxic damage on it. This is the draconic piece that I'm going to apply to my left hand. So it will give me 30 damage over time, 30 semi-boss damage, and then minus 30 basic skill. I don't use any basic skills. Honestly, basic skills seem to be completely worthless in this game. Yeah, that will be a huge upgrade. But that costs, to imprint a Draconic on that costs 625k, which I don't have. Now but now that I have my weapons set and all my gear more or less set, now I can go in and start using my gold, which I don't have. I have 62k, which is not a lot. I can use my gold to imprint, what do you call it? Talents. I can add, or not talents, but hex grids, and that also costs like 200k per. So I need like 200k for each of these slots, which is going to be expensive, which I do not have at the moment. What we're gonna do here is we're gonna spam the fire biome champion hunt until we get Master of Ichor. And the reason why we're gonna do this is because Master of Ichor is the fastest to complete of any of the dungeons that I've seen so far. Okay, we got our Master of Ichor. Now we just need to do it, but first I'm going to show you how I target farm stuff. So I'm now looking for electric wall 2-slot grids. So I'm going to go here, I'm going to go to my fragment, and I'm going to choose electric wall because that's what I need, and then I want electric damage. So I'm going to, I could either do fragment size or I could go for modifier. With modifier, you guarantee that electric damage will be on there. It won't guarantee that it'll be mythical. What I'm looking for is a 2-hex electric wall plus mythical electric damage. Then I'm going to use that. I need about 4 of those. 4 to 6. I think we might need 6. Because I want to get as much electrical damage mythical as possible. I want to get to that 30 break point. Right now, I'm at, for electrical damage, only at 15. So I need 3 more electrical damages. And I'm going to imprint 3 electrical damages on my gear that I currently have. I do this specifically so that I can get more damage over time. More points into here means more Wyrmling chance, which means more poisons being sprayed. More Wyrmling damage, which is always nice. I get this. Toxic damage is important. Toxic damage is important. Wyrmling damage is important. That's why I went for these 3. duration effect, I did that. I put 30 points just for the duration effect increase, which gives plus 3%. I don't know if that's needed, but honestly, well, I can't even use that. I must have. You can tell how little I've thought of the wormlings. I didn't even have. I had the wrong. Well, neither of these work. Because you're at 1 HP always on my Shield of the Oracle, this talent just doesn't even work. Who knows? Maybe they can count 1 HP as high and low. You never know. Yeah, none of these passives matter. I kind of just did it for the Fizz resist and the Wormling effect duration. Oh, actually, no, I know what I'm going to do. This is perfect. I'm happy that I was able to catch this mistake. So yeah, I'm going to go full here. Perfect, and then now I'm at max control again. It works perfectly for me because Malice increases the damage, and that's just good. That's good stuff. Attack speed, you know, you'd think attack speed wouldn't affect you, but for whatever reason, attack speed negatively affects the dot, I think, on my... It's hard to tell. It's very hard to tell. I mean, if I use 3 combos, I'd probably use this if I actually use more than the electric wall. Because this one just kind of sucks. Because look, it's basically you have to be... Look how small that radius is. It's not large. But this one hurts you. The 25 damage is not... It's bad because the minus attack speed. I don't know what Inspiration does, I'll be honest. It's not explained in any meaningful way. So... We'll put 1 point in there for... Okay, whatever. We'll put 1 point in there. I don't think it changes anything. Let's see if it changes. Oh no, it does. Oh, okay, no. There it is. That's we put the 1 point in here for the 0.1% chance increase. Yes. So yeah, you want 6 in control, you want 6 in arcane instability, you want 6 in... You don't know, it doesn't matter. The Shield of the Oracle doesn't matter. You can choose to go HP or whatever. Or even only get 1, because if you get 1, then you'll guarantee that you'll have... You at least want 1 of Shield of the Oracle so that you can maintain your mental superiority. But this you want to get to 6 too. I'll be able to get to 6 with mental superiority by doing... What was I? Let's see. 2 there, 2 there. Where am I supposed to get the last points for that? I did not build my character correctly. I need to get... I want to get 6 points of mental superiority. Honestly... It doesn't matter that much. The difference between plus 4% and plus 8% is not that big, to be honest. These are the important damage numbers: electric, toxic, damage over time, crit damage, and crit chance. And when you have your apocalypse mode on, this turns to 100%. But yeah, that was my really shitty attempt at a build guide for Oracle. Oh, I can go here. Before we go out, I'll go over the loot filter, and this will work from level 1 to 50. So, for loot filter, it's very simple. you want to highlight divine mythical items. You want to hide so basically you always want this one, but this will change as you level. So like let's say your level, let's say you're level 1. You don't have any of these. And then you're showing you basically just don't want this rule on, basically. Let's say you're level, you don't turn the loot filter. I would say don't start a loot filter until you have a full set of common gear, basically. And then once you have all common gear, you make a new rule. And it says hide divine, let me move this up, hide divine, rarity, common. So you now show everything basically that's not common. And then once you hit like level 20, you add that. Once you hit level 30, you add that. Once you hit level 40, you add that one. So now you are only seeing divine you're only seeing divine items. And I'll also say divine items are kind of bad. They're kind of poo. They're usually poo. So I just hide divine items. I don't hide draconic because they are important. But the bad thing about draconic items is that they have tiers to them. There are tiers to I'll go over that in a second, but let's go over the fragment. The fragment is quite literally, I have the same thing for the fragment. Except that when I want to target farm something, I'll pick one skill. In this case, it's electric wall. And then I'll do the 2 modifiers I'm looking for. In this case, it's electric damage and toxic damage, because those are the 2 modifiers I want. And the only rarities I'm looking to show are legendary and mythical. So I made sure that it's only 2 modifiers. So that means if there's 1 skill and 2 modifiers, that means one of these 2 modifiers will be the electric wall skill. So if I see a legendary or mythical 2 modifier skill, electric wall, it will guarantee to be a either electric damage or toxic damage. And then it's as simple as that. So I only show mythical items. I do show non-divine. I should actually remove the non-divine. But a legendary divine is basically the same quality as a mythical. So that's the only reason I have this hide non-divine and why I don't turn this off. Okay. While gearing out, you're going to want to look. These pieces don't matter that much. On helmet, you want EXP bonus. That's the most important stat while leveling up. EXP bonus. The most important stat on armor, I think it can get a gold bonus. Arms, attack speed. You want attack speed on it. That's your most important stat on your gloves. On boots, it's movement speed and gold bonus. For weapons, it's a little tougher. You basically want electric damage on your weapons, and damage over time. If it has if it has both of those stats, it's great. If it has one of those in like divine, it's great. But you're also gonna want energy regen and cost reduction. Right now I don't have any cost reduction because I'm going full DPS mode. I'm going full DPS. Full glass cannon. I don't think there's anything else to say. I think yeah, that's it. Just good luck. Hopefully you found this guide helpful at all. Um, this was about 60 hours of gameplay to get to this point, so you'll have a lot of fun building this out. At least I did. I had a lot of fun with this game building this out, and I feel like I've more or less beaten the game. I don't really anything else past this point is just me just trying to get the like a perfect like min max thing where I add like plus toxic and electric damage to these through the the stuff. Okay, well, bye bye. Hope you had fun. Later.